Hi everybody, I am 23 weeks today, so I am here to review week 20. Baby is now the size of an ear of corn, so baby went from the size of a papaya to an ear of... You will hear crying in the background. My son is having a very hard day. Symptoms. This week has been a slew of new symptoms, definitely getting towards the end of my second trimester. Means that there are some different symptoms going on. So physically, a lot of my newer symptoms have been during sleep. So during waking hours, I have noticed if I walk a lot, I need to take it a little bit slower, and I do run out of breath faster. I also tend to notice that down lower in my, lower in my abdomen, right above my pelvic area, I do get a bit sore if I walk too much or too fast for too long. So I have to take it a little bit easier. I decided that if I know I'm going to be up on my feet for more than an hour or so, I will wear the support band that I bought. And that seems to help. So I have used that a couple times, knowing that I was going to be on my feet and walking for about 4 or 5 hours at a time. I will also wear it to the gym if I know I'm going to do a lot of walking or attempt some running. I am able to run intervals. It's not nearly as much as I was able to do before pregnancy, but you know, I'm 23 weeks, so I'm not expecting to be able to run a half marathon. Definitely slowing down a little bit because of breath and because of just, the belly's getting bigger, which means it's getting heavier. So I have to be a little bit more careful about getting down. If I'm either sitting down for too long or if I'm laying down on one side for too long, the bottom of my ribs will start to get a bit sore. And that is really because he has definitely found the bottom of my ribs. So that was actually really an interesting feeling. I was laying down one night and reading, and he balled up, so the top of my uterus, he balled up right at the top of my uterus and then just stretched out. I was like, my uterus, it was squishing everything up. So my breath was already restricted, and so I'm kind of going, trying to get a big breath, and then all of a sudden he just stretches out into my ribs. I was like, oh, hi. So it wasn't painful yet, but it was definitely not super comfortable. So he's done that a few times. And I have found that as he is growing, as my belly is growing and getting heavier, when I lay down on my side, I'm needing to put something small underneath the side of my belly because I tend to be a side sleeper anyway, but because my tummy is getting heavier, I'm needing to put something to prop it up a little bit so that it doesn't feel so heavy and doesn't pull on the other. I'm also getting to the point where turning over takes more effort, and I'm needing to be more careful just to make sure I'm trying not to use my stomach muscles a lot. That was one of the things that my midwife said. I have been waking up with leg cramps. The first night I woke up, I didn't really put two and two together. I just kind of woke up and it wasn't hurting, but I could feel in my calves, the legs. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's really weird. I went back to sleep. Like I said, it didn't hurt. The second night didn't hurt, but I woke up again and went, wow, I must not be drinking enough water. So I upped my water intake a bit the next day, and I woke up for the third night in a row. And then as I was sitting there going, man, I drink a ton of water. So I just kind of was like, there's no way I'm not drinking enough water. What is going on? And then he moved, and I was like, oh, he's laying on all my nerves. I mean, he's laying towards my back. So he must be putting pressure on those nerves and causing the leg cramps. So, that night it did hurt a bit, but I was trying to work them out, and so I was flexing and pointing my feet, and when I did that, when I pointed my feet, all of a sudden I had foot cramp, and I was going, oh man, now I've got both calves are cramped up and my foot has a cramp. So Definitely not pointing my feet anymore to get rid of that. Being more conscious of what I'm doing, but usually if I just kind of focus on relaxing and keep my feet in either a neutral or flexed position, it goes away fairly quickly. It's nothing that hurts at this point unless I start pointing my feet. And I did start eating a banana before bed every night a couple of nights ago, and that has helped. I haven't woken up with leg cramps. I have not gained any more weight, so I am at a -1 at this point. Emotionally, this week was a bit different as well. No super crazy emotions, but definitely more hormonal. Not to the point where I couldn't control it, not to the point where it was really affecting me in a daily basis, but it was definitely noticeable to me. So I was able to keep it under wraps just a little bit more emotionally up and down. And you know, the closer we get to viability week is amazing, but it definitely is getting more and more bittersweet. I am extremely excited to be so close to viability, but at the same time, I'm really sad that it's going so fast. Symptoms, not a whole lot of TMI. Again, I feel like I have had days though where I am just the queen of blue veins all over my hips and all over my chest and boobs. Other than that, there's not really TMI news. The baby's room is now fully. Other than that, we are getting baby stuff in there so that the cats and the kids get used to having those things around. So it's been really exciting. I've got some cloth diapers in there. I've got some clothes in there. Starting to wash things a little bit. I finished reading Hypnobirthing, and I have been starting to really get more consistent with practicing the relaxations and also introducing it to my husband so that he can do his part if he's at least willing. I signed him up for a class that is taught by a dad who has seen his wife in labor multiple times, and it's a mini doula class for dads. So it's kind of cool. It was $70 and I'm really excited about it. He's really excited about it because while I'll be able to show him, you know, there are all these other classes really focus on infant care for dads, and his thought, which I kind of get, is that I've been working with kids for so long that anything he doesn't know or can't figure out, he'll be able to kind of rely on me to show him or ask. And even if that isn't the case, or if he's not comfortable asking me for whatever reason, we will have a doula and a midwife around to be able to ask. Though I have also signed up for a breastfeeding class, and I've started reading breastfeeding books. I have one more birthing book that I plan on, and then I'll really start focusing more on postpartum breastfeeding and new. And I'm trying to, at this point, find a photographer to do maternity. The doula that we have chosen will actually take photos for us during labor and delivery. So she will be a doula / photographer. And then I'm hoping to get maternity photos. And then other than that, we won't do any other professional pictures, because realistically it's just a lot of money. That I have officially finished my metformin. I'm no longer on metformin. I talked to my IVF doctor, and she has, and then weaning myself. It just was a way to make sure that my stomach didn't have issues readjusting to not being on metformin, which if they put me back on metformin was how we'll step up again. That is it. So I will show you guys belly shots, and I will talk to you next week.